All right. Hi, guys. Gonna be reacting to what do Europeans think about American life. I just started, but I'm gonna go back because I thought hey, it might be good to, excuse me, record reaction on this. So let's watch. Oh, slow it down a bit.
I love American optimism.
That's what made me think about making a reaction video because I do too. I love American optimism, and I appreciate when other people notice positive things about America. And I think that's one of the most positive things about America. Uh, I think it's a bit sad, at least to kind of to maybe just grow up thinking you can't do much or yeah, things can't get better, you know. Uh, I think that's tied into such the Protestantism of America and praying and hoping, um, believing that God will bless you and although there's a phrase that says faith without works is dead, and I think um, that that sort of encompasses the view of even if some Americans aren't Christian or aren't religious or whatever, that's kind of how I think they think also, um, in that they believe something and then they work toward it, even if it seems outlandish. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, some people are not religious, some people are religious and pray and believe that God will help them. So anyway, my perspective.
They have a pretty nice flag.
I agree. I love our flag. I love a lot of flags. A lot of flags are really cool around the world. Brazil. That's all I can think of right now. But yeah.
Are you joking? What? That is actually shocking.
That's nothing you would ever see in Britain. That would cause riots.
I gotta share.
In the US, a large drink in McDonald's is 77% bigger than in Europe. That's disgusting.
Wow. It's diabetes to go.
Many common US food ingredients are banned in the EU. Whoa.
This is, I think, a bit unfair to to say. Okay, basically, read. When American adults are more than double those in Europe. Yeah, but I mean, there's some ultra poor countries in Europe and Eastern Europe, so I think it's a bit hard. It's a bit easier for them to not be obese if they have trouble getting food. Um, I mean, maybe that's ignorant. Maybe they have plenty of food, but or maybe they have enough food, but not anything else. I don't know that much, but I know that some Eastern European countries are very, very poor, and often when you are poor, you don't have much money for food. And man, I could talk about this for a long time. In terms of individual Americans, I would say it's not so much their fault, and because we have this sort of these industries built up by corporations that don't have the individuals' best interest in mind. They're mostly interested in just saving money, making money, and so they mass farm things, which and they use a lot of pesticides and things that aren't so good for the body and can keep in weight. Use like artificial things, and they farm stuff that's super far away and try to get to last really long, and that's not as good as is not as nutritious. They pack it full of sugar and salt and things to make it taste better because it doesn't taste as good. And so all these things contribute to the body not functioning as well, which makes more fat or keeps on weight. And fast food. I think most Americans would prefer to kind of have like maybe a Mediterranean, Italian type of lifestyle where it's like real super fresh and fantastic tasting, but given a lot of limitations, that's very difficult. Anyway, maybe people don't care or just like, oh, whatever, you should deal with it, or you still shouldn't be fat. Yeah, I think it's not too difficult, at least from my perspective, but other people find certain things easy and certain things difficult. So anyway, let's continue.
Many common US food ingredients are banned in the EU. Whoa.
Azodicarbon.
Yeah, I'd say that's a problem. I'd say I sort of have a libertarian stance, but if I'm gonna go towards kind of this government intervention in food, I would say a lot more of these kind of weird chemicals should be banned, and a lot less of the at least in terms of like supermarket and stuff. You can get it from somewhere else, or like it should be definitely like labeled, or something should be dealt with, because I think it's too many potentially dangerous things in the food supply. Yeah, I'm not saying that government intervention should be the thing to fix it, but I think something, and possibly government intervention. It's a difficult thing because I do think people should have freedom to kind of choose what they want to use for their products generally, but also like the consumer. It's hard to kind of pick through every single thing, see what is good and bad in it, and to know what all the chemicals do. Some of them might be perfectly fine for the human body. I think it's quite ridiculous that there's certain things that are banned, and there's other things that aren't. I mean, I guess that's kind of like that way for a lot of countries, but like there's this type of fruit, I think it's natural fruit or something, when you taste it, it makes other things taste differently. I forgot the name of it. Maybe I'll try to look it up. But that apparently is banned in America, at least in certain forms, I'm quite certain. And but there's like very dangerous chemicals that are not banned. And I don't know the names of all of them, but let's say aspartame. I know it's aspartame has bad effect on humans, but that's not banned. So anyway, I wish I could remember the name of that fruit. I'll try to think of it.
Bonamide? Banned in Europe because it may cause cancer.
Cancer brownies.
So cute!
We have a baby.
Yes!
How long do you get for parental
I
leave
missed
in
that.
your country?
So cute!
We have a
They must have strollers in Europe. I'm sure I've seen that.
baby.
Yes!
Okay, Miracle Berry. Berry. Berry? Oh, I just found out something. Okay, this says, why is the miracle fruit illegal? I don't know the technical name of it, but they call it miracle fruit or M-berry. The FDA banned miracle fruit in the 60s under pressure from the sugar industry, which didn't care to contemplate an alternative sweetener with so much marketable potential. Oh, that's so effed up. That's sickening. That's really, really sickening. Yeah, I want to get this. I want to get this really bad. I think it's kind of. Oh, the scientific name is Syncypalum dilgicum. It's kind of weird. Put it up on the screen. I don't do a lot of editing, so it's the best. Yeah, that's enraging. Miracle fruit. Yeah, I really want to get this. Apparently, the sugar industry hired research places like Harvard to talk about how sugar is not so bad and how you should reduce your fat in your diet. Much worse. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna change the laws. Oh man. I gotta remember to. I'm gonna buy some of this stuff. Gotta get some of this. Remember to look that up and get some later.
How long do you get for parental leave in your country?
The mother gets 410 days.
The fathers as well. There's a paternal leave that is
410. You could just keep having babies and never work. Oh, that would be a big problem in America. Big problem. I personally know women who would probably do that. Just keep having babies. If they were getting money at the same time, certainly. They already do that.
I think it's about 9 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not planning on having kids, so it doesn't really affect me.
Okay. The number of paid days of maternity leave guaranteed by law in the US. Let's see.
Wow.
0.
It's nothing. Like, I was right. It's literally like, you want to have a kid? Well, you're on your own now.
Well, you de-incentivize people from having kids like that.
You disincentivize poor people from having kids, because if you're rich, you can obviously
Afford it.
That's a fascinating thought. That is fascinating. Could be true. I mean, that seems true, but I don't know if that's what legislators were thinking. I don't know.
You are graduating.
Oh, thank you.
These are the annual fees at major US universities.
Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, $51,832
For a year.
A year.
I mean,
Honestly, that seems a bit low.
honestly, that is a bit
To me.
disgusting from a first world nation. I mean, I pay 18 euros per
Yeah.
semester.
In Denmark, it's free.
A woman?
I knew some Belgian people that went to school and they got paid to go to school, so they had like expenses covered and stuff. I think it was like 1,000 euros a month. Wasn't much, but like decent.
It's like got stuck in the gap between the train and the platform. She begged no one call an ambulance.
It's $3,000 she wailed. I can't.
Sickening. Sickening.
Coming from the Bulgaria, which is the poorest EU member state, I've never heard about this.
In 2015, medical bills led to 1 million adults declaring bankruptcy.
My dad is diabetic. and he gets really good care in Belgium, and we don't pay a penny to it. It's completely free.
What?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, and I think if you make under like $50,000 in a year or something, then I think your healthcare should be free in America. Or else it should be like rated for whatever income you have. I don't know if Obamacare does that. I haven't heard that Obamacare does it, but like, you know, uh, maybe just a certain percentage of your income or something. You know, I don't know, something like that.
What surprises me is that people are not rioting on the streets, to be honest.
I know.
Oh my god.
That conversation.
This is a
It's really interesting because a lot of time, some ways I think America is so far ahead of Europe. In some ways, I think they are ahead of us, and I think in terms of dealing with helping the poor, I see a lot of times they are ahead of us. And I actually, this would be a much longer video, but I actually think there's very reasonable ways to help the poor that are not very expensive. But yeah, again, this would be a huge, really long video. I think the legislators are very frequently looking at continuing growth, economic growth. And at least a lot of the policies. The more I learn about how basically the law works in business and things, the more it seems as though that's kind of their number one thing. So if you help out the poor people, at least without dealing with the mental health issues, then a lot of them might just, as the Europeans say, live on the dole, or welfare as we call it. So I love what Norway does. I think putting mental health first is number one. You know, making sure people have like enough basic necessities to live, like very basic, like food, and get them in to help mental counseling and whatever they need psychologically. And then, because I think if somebody's psychologically damaged or can't figure out how to just get through life, then they're just going to do the bare minimum and not going to like try to better themselves or anything. So I think that's the key is dealing with doing that firsthand. That's my opinion, but I mean, if you look at Norway, it's one of the richest countries in the world, and even if you take away the income that they've gotten from oil, they still are one of the richest countries per capita in the world. So I do think it's a large part because of their focus on like mental health and yeah, God bless them.
the toy AR-15.
An AR-15 style rifle was used in the San Bernardino shooting that killed 14 people.
The Orlando nightclub shooting that killed 49 people.
The 2017 Las Vegas shooting that killed 58 people.
Washington, D.C. actually banned handguns, but the ban was overturned in
But I mean, this is they don't say how many deaths, how many murders there are per 100,000 people. You know, in England they use the knife a lot. Gun is much more in the culture of America, and it is possible to kill more people with it, but it's also called much more possible to stop a crazy person if you have a gun, which happens all the time, but nobody ever talks about that. So to me, it's much more important is the murder rate per 1,000 people, not gun death. Because if the murder rate is higher in a country that doesn't allow guns, or most of them, which I believe is the case. I'm not going to look up the statistics right now. I look up a lot of countries, but just at least put that with this. If you're going to at least put like Europe. Here, I'll look up Europe average murder rate in Europe, America averaging. Can't find data very quickly. Let's try to that data Europe versus America. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry, this might be sort of boring. Incredibly boring to watch someone just look up something on their phone. Okay, I just really want to find this. America, United States. Okay, I found Europe overall, and I wanted to compare United States. Okay, United States, 4.96. I believe it says up here that Europe was 3. So then America's is higher. But, 4 point something, what is it, 96 is much closer to 3 than 12 is to 1. And, at that point, you'd want to look at a bunch of other factors too. And whatever statistic you're looking up, you want to look at at least the major factors. So yeah, I mean, it could be possible that because of guns, that would take really long to look into all the factors. But 12 to 1, okay. But I think, like I said, 4.96 to 3 is much more realistic. Much better statistic to look at. Because possibly if America, I'm not saying this, but I think possibly if America didn't allow its citizens to have guns, the murder rate might be higher. You might laugh at that, but I'd have to do the deep dive, and this I've already paused way too long, so let's continue.
Washington, D.C. actually banned handguns, but the ban was overturned in 2008 by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Whoa, overturned. So somebody had the common sense to ban this, and then they were like,
common sense.
No, we need guns.
Okay.
Americans are incredibly friendly and hospitable.
I wish we could be that sort of happy and optimistic about the future.
And the influence has been huge, and still today.
Whether it's food or music or fashion or art, film.
The younger generation in America is definitely giving me hope about the future of America.
And everyone secretly has an American dream. So, I mean, we can still all resubscribe to that.
That's really sweet. That actually touches my heart. That made my day. I really want to see people happy, and I don't really even want to bring this up again because potential of causing more division, but I just thought of something again about guns. I'm not going to go into that. Let's end on a happy note. Can save that for another day. God bless. I liked this video. I thought it was pretty nice. Overall. Have a good one.